Welcome to my Epiphysical channel. In my previous video, A Key to Epiphysics, I identified astrology as a key area of metaphysics where my research has uncovered a precise correlation between it and a physical process. One may say that I have identified the physics of astrology, but that would be to imply that astrology works because of the physics. If that were as far as things went, it would still provide powerful evidence to establish astrology as a full-fledged science. However, the consequences of the correlation are much more far-reaching. Astrology doesn't work because of the physics. Together, they point to the epiphysics, which is why they both work the way they do. That understanding provides a whole new level of clarity about how the universe works. It presents a picture I call the vivid universe. An epiphysical understanding of the universe recognizes that both physics and astrology have a common root. They can both be derived from an understanding that the universe is made of the stuff of life. The dictionary definition of the word vivid describes it as meaning full of life and vitality, making a powerful impact on the emotions and senses, true to life and conveying to the mind striking lifelike realism. Something vivid remains distinct in the mind, is prolific and acts with vigor. These are all qualities of the fundamental stuff of the universe and its unfolding purpose. Thus I say that the universe is vivid. What, though, is the stuff of life? In my video, An Introduction to Epiphysics, I said that consciousness is the foundation of reality. In The Key to Epiphysics, I reiterated that assertion and added that the universe is made of consciousness. I also said that consciousness is a component of life. Now I am saying that the universe is made of the stuff of life. Perhaps those last two statements may seem unfounded and very speculative to biologists, because despite the fact that biology is meant to be the science of life, they have had a very hard time defining what life is. The best they can do is to compile a list of the things living organisms do to survive. However, nothing on their list is exclusive to living organisms. In fact, it will soon be possible to make machines that will embody every item on the list whilst still not being alive, if indeed they don't exist already. Biologists have had this apparently insurmountable difficulty because they make the same mistake about life as is made about consciousness, i.e., to insist that it arises out of the material world. Actually, it is the same mistake in a different form, because life is consciousness. Life and consciousness do not immediately appear to be the exact same thing, because life has two complementary components, consciousness and creative will. However, creative will is merely consciousness presenting itself in a different way. The significance of that fact cannot be overstated. It explains all of quantum weirdness, but that will be a topic for another video. For now, I am simply starting to explain what the universe is made of and how that fundamental stuff results in both physics and astrology. In Taoist metaphysics, the world that we experience is the unfolding of the undefinable Tao, which has two aspects, yin and yang. At first glance, that all sounds pretty vague and exotic. The sloppiness with which it is generally presented tends to attract a lot of people with nebulous and eccentric personalities, which is not conducive to the revelation of truth and clarity. They tend to muddy the waters even more. We see the results in the woo-woo face of the New Age movement. Ironically, the simplicity and clarity is there, staring us in the face if we have the eyes to see it. Often, yin and yang are not well defined. Instead, we get a similar approach to that of the biologists. In other words, we are presented with long lists of things that are yin and things that are yang. It can be quite baffling to work out what the essences of yin and yang are from such lists, and most people don't even seem to try. Thus, to say that the world is made of yin and yang sounds like woo-woo BS to most logically grounded people. Yet, if we look in Richard Wilhelm's classic translation of the I Ching, we find that the fundamental essences of yin and yang are actually very well defined. They are called the receptive and the creative. So if we simply replace the words Tao, yin and yang with life, consciousness and choice, things have already become a lot clearer. From this clarity, we begin to see that the universe is the unfolding of life through the knowing of our creative will. That is to say, through our consciousness of our choices. Crucially, the I Ching adds some very enlightening extra information about yin and yang. It says that yin and yang are not opposites. They are complementary, and their relationship is that of space to time. Yang is also referred to as the power to persist in time. We can see that these ideas make sense if we contemplate the fact that consciousness is effectively a space in which everything exists, and that as long as we choose a thing, it will exist in the spaciousness of our conscious awareness. Now we have a very important clue about the relationship between consciousness and the physical world through the undeniably physical quantities, space and time, which do indeed have a complementary relationship. I will leave things there for now. In my next video, I will discuss how yin and yang give rise to the four astrological elements, earth, air, water and fire. Thank you for your attention.